Now, I've come across several creative entrepreneurs who say that they feel guilty for charging for their service. You've probably heard the same typical advice like, charge what you're worth and know your value. Well, I'm here to tell you that is absolute BS advice. So if you're just like me and you're fed up with hearing stuff like that, then be sure to watch until the end of the video and hit subscribe. My name is Nadine Daff. I am a former henna artist turned into business coach, and I help service-based creative entrepreneurs consistently land clients via social media. This is video number 3 of the Shit You Can't Google series. So if you have questions and you can't find them in a typical online search, then be sure to check the playlist of the series in the link below. Now, in order to truly understand why you might be feeling guilty, I always recommend looking at the root cause of it and really digging deep. You might be falling under one of these categories. First off, I always typically recommend people to look at their own money mindset and their own spending habits, because this might be contributing to your current guilt. So if, for instance, you were raised in a household that was very frugal in the way that they were spending, maybe you were always received with negative reinforcement when you overspent on something when you shouldn't have as a little kid, and this actually contributes to the way that you view and approach money today. Maybe you have no problem spending, but you sure as heck are going to be feeling guilty for asking people for that kind of money because you were raised to believe that you shouldn't be spending that money to begin with. Secondly, maybe you're just not your own ideal client, which makes you feel guilty to charge. And by the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think I'm South Asian. Maybe it's because I'm a henna artist or the piercing, I don't know, but I'm actually Egyptian. And even though henna does play a role in our culture and wedding traditions, I probably wouldn't have paid the amount that I charge for my own South Asian brides, because as Egyptians, we don't get these insane, intricate designs on our hands and on our feet. It's usually like a small henna design that's hidden somewhere. However, I have no guilt in charging the prices that I do, because I have put in a lot of practice time in my henna, in my craft. I have spent a lot of money on the supplies and the tools. I've also spent money on conferences, international workshops, so it leaves very little remorse in charging what I charge, because I have devoted myself to the craft and the skill. And if you do the same, even if you're not your own ideal client, then you should not be feeling guilty. Thirdly, maybe you're just not confident, not necessarily just in your skills, but you're not confident even as a person. I know I used to suffer from this issue a lot, and I suffered from serious people-pleasing syndrome. So if you're like me, then this point is definitely for you. But generally, whether you lack confidence in your craft or you lack confidence in yourself, this is always going to be a barrier for you that you are typically undercharging every single time. So you really have to work on your confidence in order to eliminate the guilt that comes with charging or asking for money. I want you to feel as confident as an unqualified white man applying for a job. Yep, that's what you should do. Now, the other thing is, maybe you associate your service to a non-basic human need. And basically what that means is that your service is a luxury service, whether you're a stylist, a designer, an artist of some sort. You associate your service to something that is luxurious, that is not equated with someone surviving. So if you're struggling with this issue, I got the solution for you. Even though your service may not necessarily be directly related to a basic survival need for people, your service is still fulfilling a basic human need. Let's take a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, at the bottom of the layer, we have the physiological needs like food, shelter, water, air. And then on top of that, we have safety needs like employment, a sense of security, property. And then building on that, we have the sense of love and belonging, which correlates to relationships, intimacy, family, friends. And then we have esteem like status, freedom, recognition. And then finally, we have self-actualization, which is delivering a sense of purpose. Now, as a service-based business in the creative field, you're probably hitting one of these 3 needs: the esteem needs, or the sense of belonging, or the self-actualization. So the next time you're feeling, well, this isn't a basic human need, yes, it is. Now you know that. And if anything, I would recommend looking at the things that you have spent on in the last, let's say 3 months. Look at the things that you've probably spent on that were luxurious items, but were camouflaged as a need. Like maybe you went into a store and you found an amazing t-shirt and you're like, oh my God, I need this because it's gonna pair up with so many things in my closet. And even though it's not a need, you still found value in paying for it. Just think about your service the same way. I'm not gonna be all roses and flowers and tell you charge what you're worth and be confident, because that is pretty shallow and empty advice. In reality, confidence is a skill that you have to build. You have to work on building your confidence over time. I'm not gonna tell you charge what you're worth today, but I do recommend working on your confidence to eventually lead into charging what you think your service is worth. For instance, let's say that you know your service is worth $100, but you are charging $20 for it. Then with your next client, charge $25. With the client after that, charge $30. With the client after that, charge $40, and build your way up to the $100 that you know your service is worth. If you found this useful, I strongly recommend that you sign up to my one-on-one coaching program waitlist. I take a look at your business goals and your social media, and together we create and devise a system that is going to help you land clients consistently, but also we address some of your mental blocks and issues that is preventing you from reaching to the business that you've always wanted to have. Make sure you check the link in the description below, and since you're down there clicking buttons anyway, make sure to hit subscribe, share this with a friend who might need to hear this, and let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below. Do you want me to create more videos like this or more business tutorials, Instagram tutorials? I am here for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to check this video of the Shit You Can't Google series, and I will see you next week. Crushed it! Why is this so difficult to focus? Please don't be out of focus. Okay, get it together. Please be in focus. You've probably heard things like charge what you're worth and be brave to say no and gonna have to record this again. So, which means you are still fulfilling a need. Which means you are still fulfilling a need. Ah! Get it together. Your service is still I am so exhausted. Ow! So the next time you're feeling, well, this isn't a basic human need,